All you'll need this morning is your small ball. If you want a set of hand weights for something like oblique rollbacks, etc., to be able to add a little of intensity to it, by all means, go ahead. Otherwise, find yourself a little wider than sits bones if that's comfortable for you. Sits if that's better. And just give a little rocking back and forth. I just want to make sure that I turned my phone right down, guys. Sorry. Otherwise, there we go. Now we're on silent. Let's try that again. Again, all you need is your small ball. Abs engaged, shoulders down, heel toe open to about sits bones or wider, and just rock it back and forth. From here, holding the ball just nice and gently in your fingers. Let's just roll the shoulders. So I'm going to go into protraction, elevation, retraction, and depression. And I'm just going to roll that around. We're only doing it the size where it doesn't feel grippy, right? So as you do your circles, don't yank your shoulders up around your ears, just gentle. And then go ahead and circle the other direction. I'm just bending the knees and I'm floating my weight from heel to toe, very small. And then a little wiggle. Leave the shoulders down and away. Inhale, the ball comes up. We're going to lift the heart a little bit, gentle extension. Exhale, it comes around. And if you're able to, round the spine, grab behind your legs. And then inhale. It causes a bit more flexion in the spine as you come down. You've got to reach back a little bit. Inhale, lift. Exhale down, then at the bottom here, just switch directions. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, reach it behind, round your spine. We're getting a little deeper on each of the movements if it feels okay. As we get deeper, maybe you have to heel toe wider open. So you got a bit of a lateral rotation going in the hips. So you can get down here a little deeper. On this one, stay in the up, come around the corner, round your spine, and just bring that ball down to the floor. Now, if that's difficult, you want to support the forward flexion, elbows on your knees. Otherwise, press the ball into the floor with your palms on top, straighten out the legs, and just let yourself float down and dangle there for a moment. Start to increase that inhale, exhale, in, nose, out, mouth. Start taking an awareness into the zipper of the abdominals. Let your head dangle, totally inverted in flexion. And then bend the knees, slowly drift up. As you drift up, we're going to reach the arms forward, bend the elbows, tuck that ball in towards the cervical spine, just into that little neckline area. Elbows tuck in, and then lift that heart. Your elbows extend up to the sky. And then exhale, round. Don't yank on the neck, but think of rounding. And maybe you can bring your elbows to your knees. We're going to inhale as we open up, lengthen, give me extension. And then exhale, again, we're getting bigger and bigger. So you're coming around the big beach ball. Maybe the elbows get to the knees. Please don't crank on your neck. Hold it gently. Please hold it gently. Inhale, open your heart one more time, little extension. Big exhale as you deflate, as you compress through the abdominals. Now remove the ball, let it drop down to the floor. Extend those legs up again and give me a little dangle, little wiggle on the neckline. Inhale, exhale, and then slowly stack it up. And then just reach the arms, place it again into the nook of the neck, and just lift the heart. And then come into neutral. And then lift. So we're going into extension for thoracic cervical. And then we're bringing it into neutral. One more time. Little extension. Bring it in. Reach the arms all the way active. Bringing them out. And then just turn. I was going to say turn and face the front. You were already there. Reaching, bring yourself more sits bones. Pull the ball in so your elbows are just in beside you. ASI is facing me. Just rotate those rib cages. And bring it back. Inhale and rotate. Kind of mind's eye as we do very simplistic movements initially in the warm-up, you guys. Kind of takes mind's eye. What's feeling a little tighter on the left versus the right? What feels a bit funky? Rotate, stay here. Reach it out. Give a little bit of flexion in that spine with the rotation. Stack it to tall. Bring it back to center. Let's go the other way. Rotate, gentle zipper. Exhale, flexion through. Inhale, stack to tall, and bring it back. Beautiful. Step it wide into shoulder width distance, and let's go ahead and just add a squat. So I'm just pushing the booty towards the back wall. As I squat, watch you're not collapsing on the knees. Send your butt back. As you go down here, freeze for a moment. Don't go so low that the tailbone tucks and you actually feel the back muscles turn off. Take out your pubic bone, push it away, and feel how your back muscles have to turn on. And then come on. So it's neutral spine, neutral pelvis, supporting the squat. If that feels good, we're going to lengthen that lever by reaching and bringing it in. Exhale. Inhale. People have a tendency to put a lot of weight into the heels. Perfectly doable to get some weight into those heels, but don't be shy about pressure into big toe, baby toe, so you feel the whole platform of the foot. And we're inhaling, exhaling. Now stay out here, reach the arms a little higher, soften your elbows, and then bring it right down between the legs. So as you do that, if we keep the arms straight, sometimes we feel that little pinching around the neckline and shoulders. If I keep going with this movement, but I sort of make a teardrop as it comes up, I'll be maybe a little more forgiving through the shoulders, and I can keep them down into my back pockets. Let's go 2 more. We're just warming up those legs. And last one. Bring that around. Pull that ball into your belly. Bring your feet into parallel sits bones and kind of tuck it right into pubic bone belly and roll forward over it. Now grab behind your knees. I have gorilla arms, so if you kind of see me grab really wide, that's just the length of my arms. I'm going to deepen into my C and press my hips up a bit, rounding into that lower back. Really exaggerate now your abs drawing up and in and finding your back breath. Stay down here into this kind of angry cat, but the quads are working. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly come up, grab that ball, lengthen it, and roll those shoulders at the top. Let's go ahead and place that ball just towards the front of your mat. Hopefully it doesn't run away. There goes mine. Find yourself at the very back of your mat. Roll the shoulders, little rocking within the legs. Let's reach to the sky and come into 4-point stance, you guys. So all the way down, bend knees, hips, ankles, walk it out in 4, 3, knees down on 2 and 1. Grab that ball and sneak it between your inner thigh. And let's start a little bit of sternum drop here. So neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Drop through your shoulder blades. Exhale, push away. So just a nice little preparatory here. Inhale, exhale. Just the shoulder blades moving. The spine doesn't drop and lift and drop and lift. It's nice and stable. The spine through thoracic is moving, but it's because the shoulder blades are moving. It's not actually rounding and flexing. Now stay in the pushed away. Curl your toes under. Let's get a little stretch. Curl those toes and start to lean back into the toes. Get them warm, and as it feels good, back it up and let's get full pressure into those toes. Not happening on the knees. Come here. Need to be a little more delicate on the toes. That's fine. Take an inhale. Grab that ball. Swing it around between the hands. If the ball's too small, grab a strap. Reach that actively down. Roll those shoulders open. So I'm just kind of grabbing the ball on the sides. And I'm just pushing down and opening. Now I'm going to press my arms behind me a bit for a bit more chest opener. Big inhale, exhale. Now I'm just going to come up on my quad and lower it down. Up, give a little extension here, and then lower it down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale down again. If that's too aggressive, just let go of the ball and keep your arms actively reaching, right? Now bring it here into tall, hinge forward, slide that ball back between that inner thigh again, place those hands, just allow those feet to have a little paddle out, release them out, let those toes shake open, and then curl it again. So we're going to go cat-cow, exhale, round the spine into angry cat. So I've got my toes curled. If this isn't comfortable, uncurl them. I'm going to sit back, which causes, again, a bit more stretch. I'm going to come up into tall and then untuck my tailbone and go into my cow. Vision up, tailbone lifted, big breath. Drop your tailbone, exhale, round. Sit back, feel that stretch. Bring it forward, untuck and lengthen. And then into neutral, untuck your toes. And this time, sit back in your angry. Freeze here. You can get a little deeper now into knee flexion and hip flexion. Walk your hands a bit wider, but farther forward. Feel your fingertips engage into the floor and a little pull into your lat. Now on my hips, I had to widen my hips out a little bit into a bit more lateral rotation to feel I could get deeper. Really big breath here. And then pull back up. Your hands will pull back in. And we'll squeeze that ball. Find your neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Curl the toes underneath. Lift an inch for short plank 1. Untuck that tailbone. So we tend to be very strong as people in a slightly supported pelvis when we're holding positions. We're stronger. We're stronger. Untuck your tailbone. Find your neutral. We're weaker here in general. This is where we need to work. Inhale, exhale for me. We're holding for 4 more breaths. Again, wrist not liking it, ottoman, go on your elbows. 2 more, you're still going to get a good push out of it. Last one, let the ball drop out gently, lift the hips, and let's paddle it out. Now, I had someone ask me on my YouTube, why do you grab your mat? My hands just slip. So I'm just, it's really, your hands should be nice and wide. I just grab so I don't slip, and that allows me to anchor my shoulders a bit more, and then I can get into my lower half a bit more. So it's 100% a me thing. You don't have to do it. Now, if you're okay, drop both heels, sink a little deeper, hit the ball out of my nose, and drop into that. Now, there was no magic. The ball just happened to hit my forehead. It's actually quite nice, but that wasn't in the plan, so don't try and do that. If this is tight, lift the heels, bend the knees, drop a little deeper, open up those shoulders, you guys. It's a tough one. Come out of your shoulders a little bit and give me a poodle wag. So I'm going to wiggle my tailbone from left to right. Now, it is nice if the heels are down on this. They don't have to be. I can bend the knees and lift the heels and still get my poodle wag going. Or I can stretch into it and wiggle from left to right. So I'm bringing my booty quite a ways over. So it's way over here, and it's stretching the one arm leg on the opposite side that's not really weight bearing. And then I'm going to go to the other side and stretch and just feel that lateral opener. Inhale, exhale. You could do this on your elbows, perfectly fine. One more time, stretch that out. Bring it back to center, rise up, down come those knees, off the toes, roll the wrists. Let those release out. Get a little opener there, do what you need to do. So go ahead and take those hands and let's just fold them in. So fingertips are facing in towards my waistline. If you've got long enough arms and you can get down deep, you can go here. If not, you're up here a little higher, right? Depending on what those knees are inviting for you. And I'm just going to lean forward, point my fingertips away, and then I'm going to lean back, very gently stretching into that wrist. Inhale, exhale a little bit. Just open that up. Now release that off, turn the palms the opposite direction. The farther forward I place them, the more stretch I will get. So if I've got tight forearms here, then I'm going to keep them closer to my side because then I can't lean back as far. If I've got a fair amount of range, I can put them farther forward and then lean back. Spread out your fingers. So my son's a journeyman electrician, and when he was working commercial properties, the forearms from pulling the size of wires, etc., that they work with in those places, same with massage therapists, anyone who works with their hands all day long, forearms get really tight. So this is a beautiful stretch for that, just to open up that forearm. I would say even playing music, etc., holding different instruments, you guys could be slightly aware of those kind of things, right? Those forearms definitely work, right? And so just little things about the hands that we just don't pay attention to, just like the feet. I natter at you guys for the feet. I'm nattering today for the hands. Now I'm going to interlace my hands and I'm just going to wave. So I'm stretching my fingers so they're interlaced and I'm going to push down and then I'm just going to wave some movement. Yeah, just wave that. And then reverse your wave because the brain sort of goes, It does one direction, and the other direction it just kind of gets a little silly with. And then shake that off. Let's put the ball back into position. Spread out those fingers, big base of support. Curl those toes again. Lift an inch, and we're going to add rotation. So my shoulders and my vision stays to the floor. I rotate my ribs, my lower half, my lumbar spine and pelvis. And then I kind of take 2 little steps to bring it back in the center. So exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. One more time. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Lift the hips. Drop the ball out. Just let it go. If it doesn't come out, move it out. And I've widened my legs now. I'm going to walk my hands back to my feet in 4, 3. Bend your knees if you need to. 2 and 1. Let everything dangle inverted. And then slowly bend, come all the way to tall. So we're going to go to our pouncing cat. And we are going to drive a leg forward, so make sure there's nothing in your way. Hands down, center heart. Roll it back down again. Walk it out to 4 point. 1, 2, all the way out, 3, 4. Knees down if you want, but it's a longer position now. And then we're going to go back and forth. So as you come forward, you can come forward into neutral. If you're feeling the back fire a bit, find a slightly supported spine. Inhale, exhale. We're going to drive our left leg powerful towards the outside of the left hand. So let's go there. We're back here and we're going to pounce it forward. My ball's in the way. Drop the knee. Rotate your chest open. Feel that stretch. Big breath here, you guys. Bring the hand back down. Lift off the knee. Push the hip back. You're in down dog. Drive the other leg forward. Drop the knee. Rotate open. Watch you're not sinking in your supporting arm. Push away from the floor with power like you did in sternum drops. Hand supports and bring it out. So let's do it one more time each side. Drive it forward. Open it up. Your toes can stay curled or not. You choose. Drive back. Last time. Drive forward. Rotate open. Bring it back to center. Drive back. Now stay here. Pull forward into your plank. And as you do that, drive your left knee in. Don't put it down, just drive it in. And then kick it out. Here's where I start to hold my mat again. In and out. When we push out, don't go into arabesque. See if you can keep scale or straight. One more time. Stay in the out, stay in the out. Open into arabesque, feel the hip stretch. You can be on your knee. Bend your knee. There's a little bit of what we call attitude. Now, keeping the knee bent, pull the hips back square. Drive that knee forward. Drop the other knee. And let's press in and out a little bit into our hip flexor stretch. Inhale, exhale as you go, you guys. If it feels good, one arm could be reaching, both arms could be reaching. When you come forward, lift that heart and let's stay here for a moment. So there's a little bit of hello into the abdominals, but not a death grip. This is working for you. You can double bind that back leg. Pulls your shoulders deeper into their stretch. Inhale, exhale for me. Flex the back foot and feel how that just changed the dynamics ever so slightly. Right, not wrong, just different. Release out. Take this front leg, heel toe it open so it has lateral. Hand comes down. Maybe your elbow gets down there, mine doesn't. And I'm going to wiggle left and right. From there, I'm going to keep pushing into that knee and I'm just going to rotate my torso open. Watch the arm on the floor. Don't sink. Push away so that shoulder is still into your back pocket. Bring your hands back down. Walk your hips back here. And then push back into a hamstring stretch. So I've brought my leg back more into parallel in line with my sit bone versus out to the side. If you're okay, draw up the ball of your foot. Get a little more stretch. Inhale, exhale. She can come down. And then find your hands in between and pull that leg all the way around. So we're going to hang out here for a moment. I'm just going to get mildly attacked. Okay, we're good. Sorry, guys. So nice and push into the hands. Keep your hips square. And we're just going to bring this leg to the side and back out. So I'm just going to switch legs just real quick. Don't switch legs. I'm just going to bring it to the side and reach it back out. Now, if that's difficult, I could do it with a bent knee. The longer lever is going to be harder, right? So I'm either longer lever and I'm reaching it. If it's really difficult, I'm going to slide it along the floor and bring it back. If I'm okay, I'm going to leave it off the floor. So I'm going to go back to the reverse side. Inhale, exhale. Let's go for 4. So just warming up that strong stance in the hands. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way back around. Turn your hips so they're facing the floor. Push away strong with your hands. Remove the opposite arm as to leg that's in the air. Reach it out. And as we pull it in, we're going to round. And then we're going to stretch. And then we're going to round. So I'm going from neutral here, reaching. Don't go into anterior tilt. Be nice and neutral. To an exhale. Let me clarify that. Don't go into a larger anterior tilt. There is a small anterior tilt that naturally is occurring in the lumbar spine. I want it there. That's neutral. Now hold here for 4. Shoulders into back pockets. 3, 2, 1. Release off. Roll back. If the knees are more comfortable up here, that's fair game. Roll those shoulders. Give them a little wiggle. Do what you need to do. That's a lot of pressure into that one arm. You're going to feel that one arm, right? Now place the hands nice and strong. Curl the toes. And then I want you to walk your knees back so you can pull your hips forward. So you're in that kind of longer plank, that second position on our planking, or I guess on our push-ups. And then the feet come off, right? Feet come off. Knees come off. From here, drive that one leg in. Find yourself powerful, and then stretch it back. Inhale, exhale. Not happening, go down to your knee. Let's go 4. You could even be on an ottoman on your elbows too. 3 more. 2. Now on this one, we're going to stay out there, guys. Push that foot, drop into your shoulders, nice big stretch. Point the foot, the ankle, arabesque for me. And then flex the foot, go into attitude. Really try and let that foot drop. So your body wants to twist open. Now, keeping the knee bent, pull it back into center. We're going to drive that knee all the way forward between the legs or the hands. The knee drops. And then we're just going to push in and out into that lunge. Again, just be mindful if you need a kneel pad there, whatever you might need. Inhale, exhale. I just got a nice large crack in my knee. Something obviously was not quite in the right spot. And then stay in the forward. If this is good, you're going to lift the heart. One arm up, both arms up. Maybe you're going to grab that back foot. Maybe you can grab with both hands. Get your shoulders facing the front. So if I grab my foot, but I leave my shoulders rotated towards the foot, I miss the stretch in the chest. Turn your chest line to the front. As you do this, couple inhales, exhales, left and right will be quite different. That's all good. And then slowly pike your hips back to come out. Move the front leg off to the side a little bit. Laterally rotate. Now pull your hip forward again. And now go into that little lateral rotation on that front hip. Give a little left, right. So now we're kind of laterally flexing as we sway from left to right. If you can go to your elbow, go for it. And then I'm going to open to get some rotation while I'm lengthened. If your head is dropping here, guys, I need you to lift your heart to open thoracic cervical. Now bring it all the way back. You're going to pull your hips out of the stretch. Get your hands down. Bring this leg bring it forward for the hamstring stretch first. I lied. Hamstring stretch here first. Inhale, exhale. Maybe your hands don't go to the floor. You might have to be taller in your position, not actually taller as a person. And then go ahead, put your hands in the front inside of that leg, drag this leg all the way around. So take a moment right here into our 4-point stance to get this ASIS facing the earth. So it's going to want to rotate open. We did that. We did our arabesque. Now I want that ASIS facing the floor. And then I'm going to lift off, which means I really should feel more pressure into my right hand, my left leg. And then I'm going to circle it forward and bring it back. If I need to, I'll do this with a bent knee, forward and back. I'll drag it on the floor or I'll lift it higher. Higher is going to be harder. Inhale, exhale. Watch as this leg comes forward. You don't laterally flex your spine. We're trying to keep fairly neutral on this movement. 2 more. 1 more. Now leave that leg reaching. Turn the hip to face the floor. More pressure into one arm, opposite leg. Turn on that Miss America sash. Reach the opposite arm and let's hold for 5. Watch, you're not sinking here. Push away with power. 4. Draw those abs in. 3. Squeeze that booty, straighten that leg. 2. And 1. Release. Come off those wrists. Whatever you need to do here, you guys. Roll it out. Relax the shoulders. That's why we warmed up the wrists. That was a fair amount of wrist movement. So do what you need to do in your wrists, you guys, to release them out. Wrists are hard. When we get into the higher movement patterns and more flowing patterns, pressure goes into the wrists. It is what it is. But also when it comes to measurement of longevity, grip strength is actually a hugely significant factor. We need to be able to have grip strength and arm strength. So hard, but important to work. When you're ready, come up into your down dog. Walk your hands to your feet in 4, 3, all the way in. Dangle it out. Nice big breath here. And then bend to float. Roll. Let's find the front of our mat, you guys. Have your little Pilates ball. Find a lateral rotation. So my toes are in the middle of my mat. I'm standing nice and tall. I'm going to get a big booty squat. I'm going to round. If I don't like this, I'm just going to sit down. Otherwise, I'm going to get deep enough to be able to round. And then up I come. That was a funky in my back today. So that ball now is just going to go between my feet. It doesn't have purpose there. I'm just holding on to it so it doesn't run away. So there's no real purpose. If it's causing you to cramp, just let go of it. Grab behind the knees, pull yourself to tall. Don't sit on a pad for this first one, unless you have really bony sits bones, then just a nice little pad straight underneath. Exhale, scoop, hollow, diamond roll back. Inhale, pull yourself forward. I've got about a good 6 fists between my pubic bone and my heels, right? It's not a groin stretch. And then stack to tall, it's lower back. Exhale, scoop, round. Don't lose your chin in your chest. Hollow, round your spine, come around the corner and give some wiggles. I'm moving from left to right to move the insulation or the padding on my ass. Now I'm going to pull my heels in a little closer to my hips. And then I'm going to grab through my legs and around my feet and try and get a little more rounding in my spine, a little more hip stretch, drawing the abs in. Notice your shoulders creep up. Pull those babies away and take your pelvis and pull it back towards the far wall, which is the opposite direction your arms are pulling, to try and elongate through that spine inflection a bit more. 1 more big breath, and then slowly stack that to tall. Push yourself back so your heels are in the center of or the corners of your mat, and just put that ball closer into your pelvis. Reach the arms. Now, if this is difficult, you can crisscross the legs and you can sit up, or you can just bend the knees. I'm not a fan of crisscross. A lot of hips have a hard time with that. Reach the arms so you can see your hands in peripheral. And we're going to go in 3. We're going to inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate, so spine twist. Inhale, rotate, look to the backhand. Watch this leg didn't get shorter, right? That's pelvis movement, not thoracic, lumbar, cervical. Bring it back to center. Inhale, rotate. The whole spine is moving but your pelvis. So you shouldn't feel your sit bone shift on the floor. And back to center. Grow tall. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. So what we'll do to feel we're rotating more is we'll roll back. We'll roll back and we'll lean back. Tall. Rotate. Look to the backhand. Exhale, center. And last time, we are going to do saw here. Inhale, rotate. Now, get the farthest position that you can. Remember where that is. Bring it back to center. So in saw, we go there in 1 breath. So thumbs now pointing to the sky. Go as far as you can in 1 breath. Turn that thumb upside down on the backhand. Front hand saws off the leg. It's not a hamstring stretch. It's as if I was poking you in the ribs. Lumbar stays vertical to the earth. Now stack to tall. Take this backhand. Rotate it open. That movement is significant. And then bring it to center. It's a huge shoulder movement. Inhale, rotate. Thumb goes upside down. That shoulder movement is key. Exhale, saw. Inhale, stack, stretch the arms out. Exhale, center one more time. Inhale, rotate, thumb upside down. Exhale, saw. Inhale, stack. Exhale, center. Last time, tall, tall, tall. Rotate, thumb down. Exhale, saw. Inhale, stack. Exhale, center, and release. Pull forward to the front of your mat. Heels together, toes apart. And the ball now is going to, if I put the ball between my heels and my sit bone and grab, I'm in a super tight rounded position. So if I have any issues in rounding and knees, that's going to be too deep. What I'll do is move the ball a little higher up, so that my heels and my butt don't grab as deep. Right? So both are good. Both are good. It just really depends on your tightness. So the higher the ball, the less rounded you're going to be. Distance from knees to shoulders and heels to glutes doesn't change. Don't throw your head. Sacral rock. Deepen your C slightly. Deepen by crunching the abs closer. And then lengthen out of it, but it's not to straight. It's just a little lengthening. Exhale, deepen. Pull those abs in nice and deep. Exhale, roll forward. So if you've got any major spinal issues going on, maybe this is where you stay. Just feeling that nice engagement. If you're feeling good, it's rolling like a ball, sits bones to the sky. Exhale, roll, and I threw my arms. I have this real mistrust of my hip. Back we go. And so I'll compensate with another body part right off the bat. Subconsciously, we tend to do that with injuries. Got to be mindful if you're doing it. Like I knew I was going to do it. And I just let myself, so the body kind of goes, okay, we're okay, we can do this. One more time. Exhale, inhale. Now stay here. Grab that ball out, put it between your feet. Tabletop your legs. Legs are getting tired. Grab behind. With control, roll it down. That wasn't really controlled on my part. From here, I'm going to place my hands long and rest my head. Find yourself in a supported pelvis. Reach the legs to the sky. So we're just going to do a little lower lift in parallel. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Now, if that lever length with long, straight legs is just, wow, that's just too much today. I'm going to bend the knees and I'm going to do a little toe tap down and bring it up. So the knees are not bending and extending. We're sort of figuring out where can I hold my knees, causing change in the lever length. As I lower, I don't want to lose the rib hip and pop my back off. If you have the strength and the pressure isn't uncomfortable in the back, find a neutral. PAI in legs lifted position traditionally keep you in a supported pelvis. And that's just to kind of make sure that you're finding those abs and that you're not losing that back control. But if you can slowly work to finding strength in neutral, do it. Let's do two more. Exhale down. Now, if that feels awkward in the back and you feel yourself lose control, go back to supported. Last one. Bring it all the way up. Bend the knees, grab behind the legs, and do a little bit of teaser here. So let's move that ball to the knees. Let's move the ball to the knees. Let's start here. So I'm still in my strong position. Cervical nod, look to the ball, look to your pubic bone. Push a little bit into your hands, causing a bit of a teeter-totter here. This is a modification. So Kylie, if you look at the book, it's transitions into teaser. They're not great. This is a great transition. So I got a teeter-totter, and now I'm going to teeter-totter up. Yes. And then extend the legs if it feels good. Still working for you, extend the arms. Nice big breath. Still harder, the hands go behind. And then I'm going to grab behind, bend, decrease the lever length, scoop, and roll back. Let your head touch. If you're like, yeah, rocking it. Feet, ball to the feet, ball to the feet. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, roll up. Again, I'm pushing a little bit with the legs. Reach. Inhale, hold. Now, if I don't need the hands, I'm just going to reach the arms and let them go beside, but maybe I'll still tabletop my legs. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, lengthen. Oof, that little back is not having it today. Inhale, keep. If it feels good, lower the legs fully as you lower the body. I'm keeping everything flirting off. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, reach. Inhale, keep. Exhale, roll down. So you just have one more of whatever variation you chose. Cervical nod. Exhale, roll up. Wow. Inhale, keep. Grab behind those legs. Bend the knees. Reach this arm and sweep yourself towards me on your mat. Lovely. Take that ball, drop it. And if you're wanting to work a little harder, lateral malleolus now is on the outside of the ball. And I'm going to reach. That is going to make it a little harder on the bottom hip pushing into the floor. Pad that up if you need to. Or don't use the ball. So we're going to lift and lower that top leg. Lift and lower. Now if your arm's not comfortable here, you don't want your head just dangling. This is not neutral at all in my cervical. I could bend the elbow. I just don't want to kink up, right? Or I'd put a prop underneath my neck. So whatever feels good there. If you can, remove your tripod. Side leg lift series 1. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Handoff always harder. When you lift, the distance here shouldn't change. I also shouldn't rotate and see my quad and hip flexor and feel my hip flexor more. I feel my glute med, glute min. I'm in parallel. Now little circles here. Little circles. I like to put my hands on rib hip to give me feedback. Am I rocking forward and backwards to counterbalance the movement of the leg? Ideally, no. And then switch directions, which might mean I need to decrease my circles. The hip will want to turn out. Keep it parallel. Now, a little change. Put your hand down because it is going to cause you to fall forward. Internally rotate. Touch your toe down in the front. As you come up, laterally rotate. Touch it towards the back. Your hips might lift. If you roll backwards, maybe it doesn't touch. Inhale, exhale. So I don't quite touch at the back. I can touch at the front. I'm not quite getting the touch in the back. That's okay. Let's go 2 more, but it is a beautiful movement through the hip. 1 more. Now keep that leg reaching on top. Move your bottom leg forward. Grab the ball between and swing it open. If you don't have the ball there, just put your feet together. Lift lower. Lift lower. If you can, remove the hand. Doubles. Doubles is side leg lift series 2. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now leave it reaching. Hold for 5. Try and lift those legs. 4, 3, 2. Bend your knees forward, but line your heels up with your bum. So heels are lined up with my sit bone. I am going to posture my neck here, or I still keep it long, depends on how that feels. But I'm going to clamshell, but the clamshell now is getting internal and external rotation. Take your top hand, slide it into the small of the lumbar spine, and watch as you open the hip, you don't roll back on your body. That this is hip movement. Let's go 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bend the knees in, grab the ball. Pull your bottom leg in closer. Use your top leg, give you a little bit of momentum, and up you come into your mermaid. And then let's square that mermaid off. Place the ball wherever. It's going to run away on you. You're not going to use it. Rotate open. So we're rotating away. And then drop this hip and lift it. Drop and lift. So you know if you want to get bigger here, you can. I'm going to place this hand nice and strong. I'm going to push into both my knees. I'm going to lift my hips. I'm going to open and stretch. Inhale down. Exhale, open. How big? Totally up to you guys. Let's go 2 more. And last one. Now hold it in that extension. You guys reach. Push this hip out and forward by getting a little bit of booty squeeze. Nice big breath here. And exhale, fold it down. So still in your mermaid, rotate, the back hip will lift. Bring your hands in close. As I keep my spine in neutral, so there's a tendency to flex here. I'm going to lift my back leg actively so I can kind of do a little push-up. So I'm doing a narrow grip push-up. Now if I've got the strength going, don't reach for the floor with your head. I will maybe tuck that front hand that doesn't have a lot of pressure into it, into the small of my back. Still happening, I'm going to kick out that leg. So now I'm feeling lots of tricep on my back arm. Still working, I could reach this arm forward. Longer lever length, it's going to be harder. Choose what you feel good about. 3 more. Should feel your tricep, should feel your back extensors, and you have a small rotation going. Last one. Bring it all the way up. Tuck this knee back in tight. Knee doesn't like it, straighten the leg. Drop this hip down. Take a moment to settle it down, and then give me a lateral flexion. Beautiful. Stretch that out. Give me a little rotation down to that side. So I'm rounded. I am sinking into this a little bit to get my hip down. That's okay. Bring it into lateral. Bring it all the way out. We have that whole side leg lift series on the other side. Grab your ball. Swing your hips around, and then just find yourself in a happy place on your mat. Take a moment to find yourself set. I'm going to roll this ball through to find my lateral malleolus on the top of the ball. I'm going to actively push down on it, and then going to line everything up. Beautiful. Nice and long. Again, this shoulder doesn't like it. Puts a prop underneath. Lift and lower. As soon as you have that going, try and lift off your top arm. I'm adding a point and flex to the foot, side leg lift series 1, totally optional, you don't have to do that. Stack those hips, watch that though, if the leg is coming super high, I guarantee you're going into lateral rotation, you're rolling back on your ass cheek. We want to stay with the lateral malleolus, the ankle bone of the top foot, coming up to the sky. Not the top of the foot coming to the sky, the ankles coming to the sky. And that keeps us into glute me, glute min, TFL, working the side of the hip. Those are stabilizers. So important. Let's go 2 more. I'm also pushing down a little bit into my bottom leg. So I'm active on the bottom. It's not just hanging out there for dear life. Now add your circles. So remember, the spine isn't moving. It's neutral spine, neutral pelvis. I like putting my hand kind of on the hip rib area, and it gives me a sense of if I'm falling forward and backwards. Inhale, exhale, just a natural breath. Rotate the other direction. Inhale, exhale. I'd rather a smaller circle than movement through your torso, right? Stability comes first for the core if we're holding still. Now we're going to put that hand down, we're going to internally rotate, we're going to touch the toe down, and then touch the heel down. Again, I'm getting the toe down in the front, I'm not getting the heel down in the back without rolling backwards. That defeats the whole purpose of the exercise. It's the movement just through the hip. If I roll backwards through the spine, I'm no longer stabilizing the spine, I'm mobilizing it, and I'm losing the concentration on the hip movement. Right? So it's not always about a big, massive movement. Sometimes it has to be small. Go 2 more. And 1. Now leave it stacked on top. Move your bottom leg forward. Keep engaged with the ball. Grab it between your legs and spin it. Lift and lower both. Lift and lower both. If you can remove the hand, go ahead. This is side leg lift series 2. So side leg lift series has 3 different versions in it. It has the circles, it has stagger, and it has doubles. 4, 3, 2, and now hold it there, lift it as high as you can. You should feel these muscles, your QL, the side of your hip, your obliques, all turning on. If you're feeling your arms, relax. 4, and then legs, inner thighs. 2, and 1, and then bend the knees so the heels are lining up with your sit bone. Get that ball squeezing between the medial malleolus, and open and close just the hip. Slide your hand into the small of your back and make sure you're not rolling back on your ass like a kickstand. Inhale, exhale. If you want, you can pop the head. Just be careful on the neckline. We'd like to keep it as neutral as we can with the rest of the spine. Inhale, exhale. If I look to my knees, I can see I'm rolling back, because when I brought that knee down, it was behind the bottom knee. It was shorter than the bottom knee. It should be the same height. Femur bones should match up nicely. Beautiful. Now we're just going to grab that ball. We're going to kind of grab behind this leg, pull the other leg in, and use that to prop ourselves up to find the start of a mermaid. Ball's going to roll away. Place the hand, drop the shoulder down and away, find strength, and just start the movement into the hip here. So drop it down, pull it up. Drop it down, and as you drop down, you might feel tension through the other hip. Once this feels good, you can start to add your lift. If it doesn't feel good, you keep it smaller and lift. If you need pads underneath your knees, go for it. And on this one, we're going to stay in that lift. We're going to lift. Put pressure into this shoulder by dropping it open. So you feel you're not collapsing in your clavicle here, that you're actually opening and your shoulder blade slides into your back pockets. That's where we need to be so we can open up cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. Big breath. And then slowly bring that down. We're going to reset ourselves into our mermaid. Bottom leg doesn't like it. Straighten it out. Rotate. Lengthen. It's not extension, but it's lengthened. Both hands down. If I don't lift my back leg, I have to flex, but I don't want to. So I'm going to lift my back leg by squeezing my butt cheek. And now I'm putting pressure into my back hand. Finding my tricep. My elbows are tucked in. Working for me, this hand slips into my lower back. Still working, I add a longer lever length on the leg. Don't reach for the floor with your head. Move your spine by tilting through the hips. Reach the arm forward, heavier lever length, go for it. Let's go for 5. Use that tricep muscle. Exhale, 4. Inhale down, exhale up, 3. Last 2. And 1. Push all the way out. Tuck this foot back in. Take a moment to set and sink into your hip. Not happy on the knees, straighten out the knee. And then we're going to laterally flex the opposite direction we were just playing with. Rotate that flexion down. Back to me. We're going to do it one more time. Bring it to neutral. Laterally flex. And yeah, you can put the hand all the way down. That'd be typical mermaid, right? Rotate down. Open it up. Bring it all the way out. Grab that ball. We're going to spin all the way around and we're going to get into our extensions. So we already warmed them up a bit. We need a bit more. Let's rotate those hips down. I like to take a few moments just to decompress here the opposite direction. If your back is super tight, you might need to kind of put your head into the ball and sort of wiggle here. As I find my positioning, I'm noticing one leg is more turned out and farther out than the other. So I'm going to look down and get the inside in lateral rotation. So if you're not sure, bend the knees, open up. I'm getting the inside of my big toe facing down in the corners of my mat as equal as I can find them. And then my nose is lined up, equal. So my elbows are equal in 11s on both sides. And then I'm going to rest down and give some little wiggles here. So if you're in this position, you're like, yeah, that feels good. I could be a bit higher. Prop a little higher on your elbows. But we're not pulling the abs up or squeezing the butt. We're allowing the movement to go now into the lower back, feeling a release or a stretch. So with that floppy in mind, if you're still okay and you're like, I could come a bit higher, don't lift the pubic bone, but you can straighten out those arms a bit. Yes, you're going to feel the sensation of compression into the lower back. Don't throw the head forward or out. Just feel that opener. Avoid the butt clench. The butt clench is to protect the lower back. We're trying to actually move the lower back here. And then slowly fold it all the way home. We're going to start with just a nice little bit of Superman. I want you to bend the knees and take that ball and just slide it between your ankle bones. Stretch the legs out and notice that you just had to move your legs into parallel now. They're no longer in turnout. You can't hold the ball and be in turnout. And then take your head down. If that's uncomfortable, you could put a block there. Reach your arms and let your shoulders drop. So a lot of people are not fans of this position because my nose is totally squished. So I could nicely turn a cheek. When I turn the cheek, I'm going to try and isolate my ear right flat down, which then for me gives me a massive neck stretch here. Go ahead and find that. The abs are gently drawn in. The shoulders are flopped. Superman, usually the head is down, but we're going to start here. Take an inhale, pull the abs in gently, squeeze the glutes, straighten the legs a little bit. Don't lift them. Bring your head so your nose is literally touching the floor. Retract your shoulders, lift your hands so everything's by your side as if you were standing. And then just lift everything like 1/3 of an inch. We're talking hover. Inhale here. Exhale, let everything float and drop your ear and turn your head the opposite direction. Let your neck get a stretch. Inhale. Exhale, small retraction, rotate. We're hovering. So we're not in extension. We're working the back extension muscles. Turn your cheek. Let everything relax. Shoulders flap. We're working the back muscles in an extension position against gravity, but we're actually in neutral. And then rotate, so there's no extension happening yet. It's coming. And then hold here, hold here. Hold the legs actively reaching. Swim your arms up so they're now in swan. Abs are actively lifted. Push into your palms a little bit. Lift your heart and give me a thoracic and cervical extension, not just the neck, thoracic. Now, if you're okay, lift the hands. Half swan 2. Inhale. Exhale. We're just going to stay here for 4 cycles of breath. If you're okay here, turn your palms to say hello to each other and reach the arms actively. This is more traditional half swan 2, but it's pretty heavy. Inhale, exhale. It's a tier 1, but it's pretty heavy for tier 1. Inhale, exhale. If that's too much on your shoulders, bring your hands back in beside you. Go 1 more cycle of breath. And then slowly let that come down. Bend your knees, grab that ball, bring it all the way around, and lift up and put that into your xiphoid process. So if it's not a squishy ball, we don't put a hard ball here. You could snap that xiphoid process. Now I'm going to bend my knees and laterally rotate out my hips and then reach the legs longer. This allows me to get more extension happening in my spine because my hip now is out of the way. It's in a nicer position. Hands in swan, take an inhale, and you're going to go ahead and press up in a connected swan, and your weight will probably come off that ball. Pubic bone stays down. This is a swan dive 1. And then we're slowly going to come back down on that ball. It might be crooked, don't worry about it. We're going right back up. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lengthen up. Inhale, keep. Exhale, lower. So we are finding the abs gently connected. Transversus is pulling up and in gently. If you overdraw in, we stabilize the spine because that's the job of it. And then we actually don't get our extension. This is an extension exercise. 1 more time. Lengthen up. Allow the spine to extend. Inhale here. Exhale, bring it down. Now, if that ball's crooked, kind of reset it. And now we're going to go into a little bit of breaststroke. So from here, I want you to float your hands up, pull your abs in. If this is too aggressive, don't use the ball or move it higher. Just make sure it's not in your neck. I'm going to dive my arms forward. My hands are facing each other. They're going wide. I'm going to flex forward. So I've got flexion now happening. My pinkies are going to come flat. My hand is flat to the floor. My pinkies come to my thighs. I'm extending here. Hold the extension, thumbs to shoulders. Exhale, dive. So if I want more lift, I'm going to move farther forward on the ball. It's still not in my abdominals, but it's a little lower down now. Thumbs to shoulders, exhale, dive. Working for you. As you come around the corner, go ahead and squeeze those glutes and hamstrings and lift those legs a bit. Thumbs to shoulders, exhale, dive. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Keep inhaling, thumbs to shoulders. Exhale, dive. If it feels more comfortable to just let your arms come up narrow to dive, that's fair game. I like a more purposeful pinkies to thighs, thumbs to shoulders, because then my shoulders don't pop up. That's just a me thing. Now hold the extension here. Back is a little tight, lower the feet. Pull the abs in gently, extend the shoulder only. Maintaining the position, shoulder extension for 5. Exhale, 4. If you're okay, squeeze and lift the legs. 3, 2, and 1. And then fold, push into your hands, press back into child's pose, whatever feels good here to relax off the back. You might find taking that ball, shoving it right into your pubic bone and abdomen, pushing it down and folding over, pushes that back into a beautiful flexion recovery position. Right? So I'll kind of show that again. I put the ball right here, shoved it in, and then kind of lifted my ribs to fold over. And then inhale, exhale for me. You can sway left and right, do whatever feels natural here. You guys let your head dangle at the top of your spine. Breathe as you go, and then slowly stack to tall. Let's move that ball off to the side. Rotation should feel really good now. We've done a lot. We're going to do a little bit more extension release work, some more just opener, but we're going to start with a thread the needle. So nice and strong, bring one hand back, internally rotate it, thread that needle down by your opposite leg, tuck that shoulder under, and then rotate open. Oof. And then this hand goes to the small of the back. We open up the hip. Inhale, exhale for me. Bring the hand back to the floor, push away with power. Let's do the other side, thread it through. Shoulder gets down there. This is almost like I'm doing a shoulder roll, where I literally feel my shoulders tucked under enough I could roll through my side of my shoulder, not on my cervical spine, side of shoulder. Rotate that open. If you're tight in the neck, this is going to be a massive stretch for the neckline. Really big breath, that'll open the stretch even more. Pulling on levator scap a little bit, and then hand goes down. We roll it open, hands nice and strong, curl the toes, lift, give a little down dog, whatever you need to do. You can paddle it out, you can drop into your shoulders, you can prance those toes. The calf and the hamstring just worked really hard on that set, even though it's not shoulder bridge directly working them. Because we're lifting the legs, it puts the leg or the hip into extension, and that's glute and hamstring's job. So you'll feel them. Walk your hands back to your feet. You're going to grab your ball as you go, and then bend the knees and fold all the way up. So we're going to finish with a big opener. Come to the front. Bring it down. If you're okay, you're just going to roll, right? So I'm going to tuck and I'm going to roll, and that's much more open than it was the first roll that I did. I'm going to put this between my, not between my shoulder blades, but slightly lower. And then I'm going to roll back. Now, if I've got a really tight neckline, I might need something behind my head. And then I'm just going to open my chest. If it feels good, stretch out your legs. So the ball's not in my lumbar spine, it's higher. Would it be wrong in my lumbar spine? No, actually, because we do extend. And then let's just do some snow angels. So I'm going to snow angel down and bring my arms up and over. Snow angel down and up and over, and then when you're ready, reverse it. So we're just looking for some openers here. If you've got a little connection into your tummy, that's fine. Don't overdo it. And open. And then I'm going to take my elbows, bend them to about 90 degrees, and try and get my hand and my elbow down. Now, this might be, holy crap, big movement, or it might not be enough. If it's not enough, I could take a little block or a book or something and put it underneath the ball to make the ball higher off the floor, causing me to go into more arch, and that mimics our Pilates arc or our spine corrector in our openers. Totally optional. Big breath here. And then we're going to bring our hands up and around, interlace our hands like we did in that warm-up, get the biggest part of my head into my hands, bend my elbows in, and I'm just going to press. From here, I'm going to bring my feet in close. I'm going to push so it rolls down my spine, assisting me to come up. And then I'm just going to do an opener on the lower half. Roll down, put that on your sacrum, but it's almost like it's pushing, oh, sorry, not that it's pushing, think Fiona. Yeah, pushing out the butt end. So the ball is farther out than my tailbone is. And then I'm just going to fold the legs up, and I'm going to go into a little happy baby here. So the lower back now is lifted and rounded. If you can use your peace fingers and grab your toes, go ahead. If that doesn't work, I just find grabbing behind the knees is quite nice. If that feels good, you can straighten out the legs again. I have gorilla arms and I'm fairly flexible, so for me to grab my feet is not an issue. You can grab wherever feels good. Your knees can be slightly bent. You do you. Watch here you don't twist one side of your pelvis or the other. Having said that, if that feels good, put your elbows down and poodle wag. Give a little wiggle from left to right. The ball will shimmy out a bit, so just be kind of careful with that. But that little movement is just allowing that lower back to have a little bit of freedom. So I'm literally pulling that butt right over and then going the other way. And the ball will start to slide out. And then if it feels good, stretch the legs over the head like you're going into plow. If plow, roll over is in your practice, and it's like, ooh, that would feel good, go ahead and go a little deeper. Go ahead and go a little deeper. If you're like, no, stay in happy baby. Inhale, exhale. Now my ball's rolled away, so I'm just not going to worry about it. When you roll down, make sure you hold your ball so that you can get your tailbone on it. Roll all the way out. And then we're just going to stretch the hips the opposite direction. I'm going to stretch one leg out and let myself have hip extension lazy. So don't lift your pelvis. Let your pelvis drop so your belly button is lower than your pubic bone, so you feel a stretch here. If that feels good, you can grab the opposite leg and pull it in. My legs are in lateral, so they are opened. I could bend and stretch that top leg, or I could just leave it still. Totally up to you. This one's probably going to rotate you off the ball. If it does, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Your hip will just slide down. I'm going to grab the opposite hand onto the leg. That hip is going to connect to the floor. And just watch your ball doesn't run away on you. Rotate the spine. If it feels good, that leg can straighten up. So I am now off the ball. I've rolled right off to the side, and I'm in a full rotational stretch. Couple little breaths there. Bring that leg all the way back through. If you did come right off your ball, you're just going to lift and reset. Opposite leg stretches. Watch the back here isn't where the stretch is coming from. It's coming from the hip. So the ball has to be far enough out the butt that the hip flexor is lifting up and over, and you're almost maintaining either neutral or slightly posterior tilt. And then I'm going to bring that opposite leg in. As I bring the weight of that leg in, my pelvis will drop deeper into posterior tilt, possibly forcing my hip into a deeper extension. Then from there, we're going to roll that hip off the side and enjoy that back stretch. Couple little breaths there. Slowly come out. And we're just going to finish off with a breath at the top. Knee fold one, knee fold the other. Don't worry about your ball. Swing your legs around. Find your 4-point. Come up into your down dog. Do whatever you need to do here. Should feel much more open, we hope. Walk those hands to the feet. Bend the knees to slowly come up. Readjust all the clothing that is probably all over the place at this point in time. Give a few little wiggles and shakes into the legs. And then nice big breath up, guys. Inhale as we come up, let's close. Exhale, hands down, center, heart. And we are done. Lovely. Well done.